My name is Isabel Bion, and I'm the producer behind Culture in the Crosshairs. I was writing a story one day. It was about an Asian woman being punched dozens of times in Manhattan. It's really scary. I grew up in Queens, so if I still lived in Queens, that person could have been me. That person could have been my parents. A recent study that was published in February, I think, is that hate crimes against Asian Americans went up 339% in the past year, all during the pandemic. I didn't think that there was much done about it. Month of May, we celebrate AAPI. AAPI stands for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. There are about 20 million AAPI people living in the United States. It's a diverse and growing population. Every day, Monday through Friday, we're going to have some sort of a story within every single newscast. All stories are going to be different, nothing repeated. Saturday and Sunday, after a week-long series, we are going to be airing a special. And you will find stories of people and what has changed within the past 2 years in the Asian American community, what they have dealt with, and what they are doing to make change. We're going to talk about mental health, how it has affected the mental health of Asian Americans, and what they can do as far as getting involved and what other people are doing to help the Asian American community so that we don't have to be silent anymore. I came to the States when I was in 7th grade. I grew up thinking that the United States was this great melting pot. We don't have to melt all into a pot to build a great America. We could be a salad bowl. I could be a cucumber or a carrot. And we all mix well together. And that's how we build a nation to be better. I am so amazed at all of the people who are involved in the interviews and people we're able to talk to, hear their stories. We are going to see a story of an Asian American man who's owned a corner store in Troy for almost 3 decades. We are going to see a second generation Korean American who is doing an outreach to help refugees and other immigrants to tell their stories and help them build confidence. We are going to talk to a professor who has been outspoken on the issue. We're going to speak to international students at UAlbany, see what they have experienced in the past few years during the pandemic and what they went through. That was a really powerful interview. We'll also talk to the diversity and inclusion officer with the state. And the stories that she has to tell are amazing. And there are school officers. In public schools now, we have diversity, equity, and inclusion directors. And we're going to see what they do. It's not only for Asian Americans, it's for all cultures and all races and what they're doing to make change within the school district. Because I think education is so important, because ignorance is not a bliss. Whatever happened in the past, you can't change, but you can learn from it and then you can move on from it. What can we do so that it does not happen again? It's not only a story that Asian Americans should watch because, oh, this happened to us, oh, poor us. That is not the message I want to get across. I want to tell people we are all here to work together. And I think we could all, better ourselves to make a good change because we only know what we see. We sometimes don't try to look behind the scenes, or we don't try to learn about something we're not familiar with. And I think if there is anything that anyone can learn from these stories or the shows, and I think that's worth it. If you learn one thing about an Asian American culture or how they think or what they have gone through, and if you can build on that understanding a little bit, and I think it's worth it. I hope people watch. I hope they watch. I hope they find it educational, and I hope they find it entertaining at the same time. And I hope that they find hope in the stories that we tell of people in the capital region. It's not only about the violence, and it's not only about hear our outcry. It's our stories. It's the people that we live together here in the capital region. It's their stories. So if anyone learns anything from it, if they can take away one thing, I think that's my goal accomplished.